Hello everyone, this is Youngling Jr. Yeah, man, I just want to do this video and the request. One of my good friend, ex coworker, I we used to work at a hospital together, and he actually messaged me about this, and I was like, okay, it was, Dr. Umar Johnson was on the Breakfast Club, and actually, I really enjoy Dr. Umar Johnson for the most part, the stuff that he says. I'm not gonna be too biased on this though, and there's some things I disagree with him about the the interracial dating. I think he gets a little bit overboard with that, but Dr. Umar Johnson, those who don't know about him, he's a Pan-Africanist, all about, African-American history, and also he was a psychologist, and he earned his doctorate degree in Philadelphia. But at the end of the day, man, he really, I really want to talk about this Deionsanders, like the one that kind of, hit home a little bit. I didn't watch the whole interview. I skipped to the 48-minute mark. And when Charlemagne, the guy, and they had a dialogue with Dr. Umar Johnson about Deionsanders, was this a good move for him to leave Jackson State University to go ahead and pursue and coach a predominantly white institution in Colorado University? So Dr. Umar Johnson, man, he was in disagreement with Deionsanders for doing that. First, the reason is because he thought that Deionsanders was going to coach JSU for a movement. This is bigger than football. This was what his decision was. And essentially, he thought, okay, Deionsanders was going to coach JSU for a movement, not just for money. Okay. And also, too, is that he would have had, if he would have stayed, he would have had an opportunity to revolutionize the HBCUs. He went on to detail about how it was like Crowley, underfunded. He wanted the other celebrities too that are multimillionaires to have an opportunity to go ahead and do what they can to donate and do things to help with HBCUs, because a lot of them attended there. You think about the generation after slavery. That's all we had. We didn't have anything for the most part. We had to create our own institutions in order to pursue higher education because of segregation laws. And Dr. Umar Johnson, man, he talked about a variety of things too. He was stating that, Deionsanders, man, even though if he informed his students that he was going to leave, you're still wrong on so many levels, because he was like, okay, it seems like you've been there for 3 years, and then you're going to go to PWIs that you just probably utilizing JSU as a stepping stone so you can show other PWI institutions that you can coach, and then they're going to offer you more money, then you're just going to go ahead and leave. And I'm thinking like, dang, man. So because my thing was, I was in agreement. At first, I was like 50-50 with Deionsanders' decision. But then again, I was like, okay, well, how long we expect him to be there? I was like maybe 5-6 years. I didn't think he was going to be there for life. Because at the end of the day, if he had the opportunity to reshape HBCUs, according to Dr. Umar Johnson, that would have been something, man. Because you even had Travis Hunter. He was number one recruit there. His presence alone, Deion Sanders' presence alone, was actually generating millions of dollars. So this is why Dr. Umar Johnson was displaying this argument that if we have retired NFL players to go ahead and that had that influence over the years and just take the stance and coach HBCUs, then it would help. Now, I understand that Deionsanders is just one man. He took on a daunting task, a task that was extremely difficult. But actually, even to have a successful season, become undefeated, and win like 2 SWAC championships, that's really hard to do, man. But with his presence alone, his connections, we like, hey, man, this can really help African Americans. He went into detail about too. Okay, well, you got even a few blacks that are at PWIs, they're gonna be I think he said systematically gentrified, because the Asian Americans, most of them are like in Harvard, these Ivy League schools, they being funded by whites. Okay. And pretty much all that money's gonna be going towards them, and then it's just us. It's like, as blacks, it's not gonna be as much. So he was like, all we have to stand on is to survive on HBCUs. But when you have a celebrity that has the opportunity to influence and generate so much money, he's like, why not stay there? Why not go ahead and help your people? So he's just tired, like, rich athletes or rich people of our color in general just turning their back essentially on the black community in a way. But I don't know, man. I don't think, me personally, in my heart, I don't think that Deionsanders was trying to, go ahead and, turn his back on the community, and he didn't care. I mean, he did everything he could. I mean, he had a successful season. He generated some talent there. I know he had some issues there because people was breaking into his offices, but I don't know, man. But I know some people were in agreement with Dr. Umar Johnson. I think this was a decent interview. I think they're gonna go into the late night show with them. But I want you guys' opinion about this, man. Was Deionsanders wrong, and do you believe that Dr. Umar Johnson made some valid points on here? He criticized Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. Some remember Shannon Sharp, he didn't want to even go to a HBCU at one point, but going to Savannah State. So, I mean, he even admitted that when he was talking to Skip Bayless. But he was just saying, man, this is all we have, But the thing is, too, what Charlamagne was saying, okay, what are you doing? He was like, man, I'm creating 2 independent schools, which, the Fabulous Douglas and Marcus Garvey Academy, we waiting for that. So, we've been waiting that over a decade for, but I think he's going to the finished works, the final works of it. I gotta still follow him on his King Conscious channel. Yeah, he said he's working on that. He written books and everything. So it's some things I agree with Dr. Umar Johnson, some things I don't. I do agree with him too about the ADD, ADHD. They quick to diagnose your child with that so they can make money, and then it just cripples your son's or daughter confidence over the years, man. So it's a systematic thing that goes on. So I feel his passion on that. And I know Dr. Umar Johnson, sometimes he get a bad rep because, he asked so much money for these funds, and he got funding over the years, but it's still no school started. So people like, okay, are you just using this for your own personal gain? Like, like I said, we don't know for a fact, but at the end of the day, man, I pray that he get the school started and we be the change that he needs. And one thing, too, he added that was critical is about, he talked about other black leaders like the abolitionist Frederick Douglass. We all know about Frederick Douglass, man. He said if he would have pulled out, it wouldn't be nothing. Like, same thing with Harriet Tubman, conductor of the Underground Railroad, making sure that, the African Americans at that time would have a blueprint to get out and escape up north, get away from the South. And if she would have quit, if it was just been about her and she just would escape, it would have been worthless, at the end of the day. So he was like, you got to sometimes sacrifice and do things for the greater good of your people. That's good, that's been oppressed. But we'll see, man. But y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm not going to draw on this too long. I love you guys, man. Tell me what you guys think about Dr. Umar Johnson, if y'all really agree with him in the Breakfast Club, talking about specifically the Deionsanders situation. Or if you guys don't care, just let me know. Please be respectful in the comments. I'm out. Deuces.